a hands-on mum when it comes to food. She wouldn't buy bread. All that used to be made in the house, you know, every day, fresh bread, fresh rolls, cakes, pastry, everything like that. From a very young age, I was always in there. If we were good, we were allowed to lick the spoon out of the bowl. I was told the correct route is to go to university, something to do with computing or things that are going to earn you lots of money and that kind of stuff. That wasn't for me. So my mother gave me an ultimatum. She said to me, if you find a vocational apprenticeship in a really high-end establishment, you can leave school at 15 and you can do that. It's like, all right, okay, I'll take that challenge on. I'd always loved cooking, but being a chef to start with really wasn't my thing. It was to annoy my mum. I still remember my first few months constantly talking back, just a total pain. If that happened in my kitchen, I'd be out the door straight away. I was around 21 when I became head chef. The only thing I know now is how to cook. So yeah, I'm going to literally die in my kitchen. I met Victoria 2 years ago. She was a student. She goes, what do you do? And I said, I'm the head chef, a stunning golf resort.
If he's the head chef, his name will be on the website. So I googled him, and then all these things came up. Everything that he'd been saying was true, and I was like, wow.
We both have the same passions. You know, we love food, we love travelling, and we're both very ambitious people, which make it very good, because it means we're going to have an extremely good future.
Thank you very much.
Victoria entered me to MasterChef, actually. She was the one that gave me the foot up the bum and says, go for it.
Adam impresses me with everything that he does, and he never ceases to amaze me.
My first day, I remember it like it was yesterday. I walked into the room, a nervous wreck, my hands were shaking.
Adam impressed from the onset, and I still remember his first dish, and I'll probably remember it for the rest of Adam's career.
I mean, it's just an Aladdin's cave of pudding delights.
He made my day.
The comments were tremendous. That's one that's going to stick with me forever. Cooking for Michelle, I felt starstruck. First dish to do his dish, that was very nerve-wracking.
Oh, you're not far off the mackerel tartlet that I made.
He loved it. He said it was almost faultless. That made me feel fantastic.
Adam's skill set is unbelievable. He's got every tool in the box, that is for sure. And his repertoire is as deep as a well.
This is just heartwarmingly amazing. This is beautiful. I don't know whether to eat it or take it home and hang it on my wall.
Adam is a prodigious talent. He's worked in pastry and it shows.
What a beautiful, delicious, intriguing plate that is.
My uncle would be bowled over by this cake, and we know what he's like as a pâtissier.
You make great cakes.
But sometimes, when the pressure is on, you can get flustered.
For my mint chocolate dish, my mint component is gone. I have a plan, I have a schedule with my own dishes. They're the ones I seem to get more flustered about.
Adam!
Yes, chef?
Are we ready?
No, chef.
Is that a no?
The biggest turning point definitely have to be Massimo's restaurant.
I want energy, okay? Don't be shy. Express yourself.
I couldn't have hoped for a worse scenario. That emotional, terrible thing to say, mumbo-jumbo stuff doesn't work with me. This is my take on anger and frustration. You have tempered chocolate, so you have to break into me, representing that I always put a wall up for my emotion.
Like that.
I'm going away a completely different frame of mind.
You've been inspired. Absolutely.
If he's achieving this type of cooking at 24, wait till you see what Adam's cooking at 34. I think he's a real star in the making. He is a natural talent.
Scott, he was a lovely wee boy. I think he was always going to be a chef. You know, he started baking when he was in nursery school when he was 3.
I think I just liked, as a kid, making noise. A couple of times I used to pull out all the pots and pans and just start making, a drum kit. So I think that's where I started getting fun, that you can actually go in the kitchen and make as much noise as you can and not get told off, which I think is still true to these days.
Scott's dyslexic. For anybody that's had a child with dyslexia, you're just fighting constantly to get them help.
You know, I didn't like school. I felt I didn't have a lot of support. Last year we got a chance to do work experience. It was a hotel outside Cardiff. I loved the adrenaline and the excitement. You know, all the stuff that was going on. You know, really busy, really happy.
He was so excited because at the end of the week they were letting him play tough on his own. He just had found what he wanted to do for the rest of his life.
When I was 21, I decided to get a visa and spend a year in Australia. About 2 weeks into the holiday, I turned around and said to my mate, I don't actually like travelling. So I had a look at some of the top restaurants in Melbourne, and I just walked into one, and lucky enough, the head chef was standing at reception and offered me a trial the next day. I came back to St Andrews and got asked to move up to the head chef at the age of 25. They only said they want 3 rosettes, which I achieved in 8 months. It was an amazing achievement.
If you're happy in your job, then you've got a happy life.
Extremely proud of Scott. He's not looked back. He said, I want to go back to my school one day and see.
You know, the first day of MasterChef Professional was, didn't have a clue what to expect. I didn't know what the other chefs were going to be like. Really nerve-wracking experience.
Scott, you've made my day. It's almost as good as mine. To walk in this room and catch your attention like that, it was just so lovely.
It was one of the biggest reasons I went out on here. Always knew that I was a good cook. I just needed a bit more confidence boost.
Part of this plate tell me that you are a very experienced and very knowledgeable chef, and part of this plate scares me. It's just a big mound in the middle of the plate, not my cup of tea.
Obviously I got slated for, you know, piling my food.
Not practical for the diner.
Dropped half a ton of salad on it. Give us a hand with this, Monica.
Did you have to put all 4 pieces on top of each other?
I don't want to waste it. Throughout the competition, I've learned a lot from the judges. Always criticism, you know, but it was always more of a guidance.
I really enjoyed watching Scott take on board what we've had to say.
He is such a grafter. He is such a hard worker. I do like the look of that plate. Very nice.
I think he's nailed this dish, to be honest.
It really is good.
It's full marks, brilliant. A wonderful palate. I am so impressed by this.
The semi-finals when I did the rabbit, flawless dish, you know, coming from Monica and Michelle.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really happy.
This is what we wanted. A knockout plate.
The last few years, there wasn't that personal relationship with the food. We're really cooking what I believe. Me and my father used to do a lot of fishing on the beach.
I like that.
I'm doing my garden salad, so everything you find in your garden at home.
It's a stunning plate of food.
When he first walked in here, he was very, very shy, his head down. We could hardly hear him speak.
Come on, Scotty!
Please, chef. Scott has grown in confidence throughout this competition.
You've been through constantly exceptional.
I think you did a really good dish there tonight. Thank you very much.
Scott has been solid throughout this competition. He could cook his way to this crown quite easily.
Bravo, Scott. Bravo.
This competition really drove my passion and my love for my job and love for food. Actually, to win the competition would be, yeah, just absolutely, you know, absolutely fantastic. Growing up, we moved quite a lot because my dad was the general manager at a hotel. We only really started settling down when we started going to school. I've got a younger brother called Peter. You know, we weren't really the stay-at-home kids reading books. We were more the kids gallivanting and causing trouble. Growing up in hotels, we just used the facilities. I was able to go into the kitchens. You
know, we had a great life. I met my wife at school.
He was doing this food technology class. He was trying to look really macho in his apron. I don't know what he was cooking, but he was probably cooking fairy cakes or something. Steve always knew he was going to be a chef, probably from the day he was born.
Both my parents worked in the hospitality and catering industry. They knew how much of a difficult job it was and how it wasn't that financially rewarding, and you really had to be quite dedicated to go into it.
Steve was determined to do it, and no one stopped Steve from doing what he wants.
We've been married just over a year now. We've got Scarlett, who's 2.5, and she's full of energy. We've also got our 10-week-old son, Kulkayan. He's just so laid back. I feel like I've got a complete family now. What should we have?
Egg.
Scrambled egg?
Yeah.
And some toast?
Yeah.
I do enjoy eating, and I do eat a lot. You gonna pour it? But that's where my passion started for cooking.
Steve is a massive eater. He eats me out of house and home. He constantly eats. I don't know how he's not the size of a house.
That's enough now. I think Daddy's full. Going round and round.
It's really hard having a husband as a chef who works kind of long hours. Oh, it's melting. We understand why Steve does it, because he enjoys doing it and it's to provide for the family. But I see day in, day out how determined he is. I'm so proud, so proud.
The first time I met Monica, she was quite complimentary about my food.
It's attractive, it stands out. This is a very talented plate. You have to catch our attention for the right reason, and he did that.
The first time I knew I was going to cook for Michelle, it was daunting, but it was a good test. It was nice to hear some positive feedback.
Good palate and good attention to detail there. Good judgment. Stephen at the beginning did shock me a bit with his marriages of different flavours. Pomme fondant did not need the vanilla in Provence. No.
Looking back, the reason I made some odd decisions about being outlandish was to try and stand out.
A little bit too fruity for me. The apple is one step too far. The great thing about Stephen is that he's taken on board our comments and he's listened.
A turning point in the competition was the showstopper. Having 2 hours to do one dish let me go all out.
It's yummy, it's sticky, it's a pudding lover's delight.
This is one of the nicest plates we've had from him. He's done well today.
I think using humble ingredients is definitely where I stand out. It really showcases my style.
That broccoli ketchup, absolutely bang on. Great complex flavours in there. Really, really good.
It's a really good dessert.
The cheesecake is absolutely divine. Stephen is a clever chef. I mean, that invention test with all the trimmings and scraps, he definitely was in his element there.
I look at it, I want to eat it, I'll push Michelle to the side and have it to myself.
Italy was out of this world. It really blew my mind.
This is like exactly what I want.
I'm just up there on cloud 9.
It ties together beautifully. It's a work of art.
Fantastic. That is delicious.
Even when he's flustered, Stephen stays focused.
That was great, Stephen. Full turbot, brilliant. Chef.
He is a great chef.
The witch's hat was a showstopper.
Stephen is a gifted chef, most definitely. And he is ready. Ready to take this final on.
It's definitely made me realise that my dreams are achievable. I've been on a fantastic journey, and it'd just be so great to top it off as a MasterChef champion.
This is your chance. Your chance to grab that title. By the end of today, one of you will be MasterChef Professional Champion.
Life is never, ever going to be quite the same again. 3 hours. 3 exquisite dishes. Do yourselves proud. Off you go.
We know the chefs here are exceptionally good, but we want to see that today, now.
Obviously, the competition's been really good for me, and I've taken a lot on board. I'm going to really enjoy my dishes today.
Exciting day, frightening day. What is it for you?
I think a mix of all emotions, to be honest. You know, really nerve-wracking, but you know, excited, amazing to be here, and hopefully do my food justice today.
I've got to say, you are a lot more confident in yourself since the first time I saw you.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I wanted from the competition. You know, obviously learn as much as I could and have a bit more confidence in myself. It's met all my expectations and more. You know what I mean? I think it's done absolutely wonders for.
You were like a timid child when you first came in here.
Yeah, I know.
You're like a bullish chef now.
That's it.
What are you going to do today?
I hope I put 3 smiles. 3 smiles on 3 judges, and I'll be very happy, and that's all I need to do today.
Scott is cooking a light starter of scallops marinated, salmon cured, some crispy oysters with some pickled cucumber. It sounds so simple, yet so refreshing and light and zingy.
It sounds wonderful. For his main course, he's got influences from his journeys in Australia.
The consommé he's making today is with Peking duck. So it's got that wonderful aromatic flavour of the duck, that Chinese great speciality. But he's added to that some lemongrass, a touch of chilli, a little bit of spice in there as well. We know Scott can do a good consommé. And that consommé at the chef's table was absolutely bang on.
He's picking the legs off to make a ravioli. It's ingenious. He's using things like bok choy and thinly sliced radishes. So there's a lot of Asian influence.
But you can't get much more French classic than pomme Anna. Thinly sliced potatoes swathed in butter. Sometimes fusion food, if done badly, can be confusion. I just hope that Scott knows what he's doing with this.
I try not to smile when I talk about Scott's dessert because it sounds like a dessert I would order.
Some wonderful coconut mousse, coconut marshmallows, pineapple, roast, and cooked in syrup.
He's got some chilies in there, which goes very well with pineapple.
Coconut and pineapple are the perfect combination, absolutely made for each other.
I do love a bit of tropical in my desserts. I really do. I love the sound of that.
I've been chefing 11 years now. I think these dishes are a development of 11 years of understanding, years of perfection. But obviously you want to go out with a bang and you want to give it your all, so hopefully that's what I'm going to do.
Chefs, 1 hour gone. Racing away, isn't it? Racing.
I do feel proud looking back at the journey that I've come on, but I also know where to draw the line in the sand. It's a new day, it's a new challenge. I'm not going to start resting on my laurels. I've still got things to prove.
How are you feeling?
I'm trying to stay as calm as I can, just trying to relax. You know, I want to cook happy today. I want to finish this competition on a high.
What's it been like?
You kind of get a buzz from it. I don't know how I'm gonna keep that buzz going after the show, and that's my biggest worry, because you get an adrenaline rush and it's addictive.
You're that close. You're that close to a title.
I actually quite like the idea of pigeon, slightly gamey, with sweet beetroot, very salty, sharp feta cheese, and a bit of apple to refresh it all.
Feta, beetroot, it's a great combination. But he needs to get the balance of the feta right, otherwise it's going to be too strong.
I've never ever eaten pigeon and cheese.
It does work.
It's got to work.
Stephen's main course, a piece of stone bass and crab mixed with orzo pasta. He's putting a little bit of Parmesan cheese with that. But be very wary not to overdo it with the Parmesan, because it will kill the flavour of the crab.
Cheese again?
Yeah.
Now fish and cheese?
Fish and cheese, yeah. You like cheese, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, good.
He's serving kohlrabi 3 different ways with his main course, which is typical of Stephen. He takes one vegetable and cooks it in 3 or 4 different ways.
He'll do some different textures. He's going to blacken parts of it. Puree as well.
He's not disappointed us yet, and he's not going to disappoint us today, I'm sure.
The dessert is quite a rich meal, so it's quite a light honey cake.
Honey cake, peaches, pistachios, yogurt. It's just music to my ears.
I'm not playing any favoritism today, but when I hear the word cake, I kind of smile a little bit.
A cake can be a little bit cakey, dry. Just like there's a lot of peach there. It needs that lovely moisture, especially of a lovely big juicy peach. I can't wait. It sounds superb.
The most important thing is to give them the best food I can possibly do today and make the decision-making difficult.
Last 60 minutes. This is your last hour.
My head is very calm, very organised. But if one thing starts to change, or one thing I am not in control of starts to drift off, that totally messes everything up. So as long as I keep focused, pay attention, and just go for it, I'll be happy.
You are very, very close to a title. Are you feeling the pressure?
I'm feeling the pressure inside, but I'm keeping that down. I'm staying very focused.
So what do you think you need to deliver today?
I need to just deliver faultless food. Simple, no overcomplicated, different, and good food. I want this 3 courses to be why I get remembered.
What's it been like, seriously, the competition?
It's been one of the best experiences I've ever had. It's been emotional, it's been stressful, it's been fantastic, it's been sad, it's been everything all rolled up in one. It's been incredible, an eye-opener.
He's making a starter, which he says is a ham hock terrine. We've seen he's got 2 different types of hock in there, and he's pressure cooking it. He's going to shred that meat and press it to make his terrine.
The only issue is, if that ham hock isn't quite cooked enough, it's going to be very chewy. He's serving with this terrine some pickles, which is the perfect match. Just hope there's a little bit more to this dish than just the terrine and a few pickles.
But we know this chef is anything but straightforward.
Adam's main course is chicken and lobster. There's a lot more to this lobster and chicken dish that meets the eye. It's going to take 2 lobsters and shape it into one big medallion. I just hope he doesn't overcook that, because it's a very expensive ingredient.
Serving it with chicken, which is a wonderful mix and works very well. And to that, he's making it a very rich chicken and red wine sauce.
Adam's dessert he described as a toffee apple.
It is a very technical dessert, but it is just toffee and apples. Kids love toffee apples, so Greg will be very happy with this one, I'm sure of it.
That takes me back to my childhood, but I don't think I'm going to get an apple on the stick. He's all about trickery. The toffee apple normally dipped in caramel, but Adam's going to use the muscovado sugar to make his. Muscovado brown cane sugar. It's in its purest form. It's got a caramelized taste. I'd have a teaspoon of it. I'm really happy he's going to make a cake today.
He really has treated us royally with his cakes. I hope today is another one of those occasions.
If this menu is executed to the T, exactly how I want it, it's going to really, really mess with the judge's head, definitely.
Whoa! Last 30 minutes.
Scott, how are we doing? All going to plan?
Yeah.
Good. No issues?
No issues, no. Just what you got, chef.
Okay, mate. Are you 100% in control?
I'd say I'm 90% in control. I'm waiting for something to catch me out.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's just the last few components.
So the last thing you need is me asking you questions.
I always love chatting to you. But
You love chatting to me.
No.
That's all right then.
15 minutes left.
You can taste the nervous energy in this kitchen. There is a real, palpable tension.
I think I'm about to get blown away. There is some crackingly good food going on here. You've got just 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes. Chefs, that's it. Time is up. Scott, up you come.
Scott's starter is cured salmon topped with Keta salmon caviar, seared scallop ceviche, a crispy oyster on pickled cucumber spaghetti, seaweed and a miso paint, accompanied by a shot of cucumber and oyster juice.
I love this dish. What this is giving me is 4 little presents. Lovely.
This, I'm curious about. Giving me some green liquid to drink always gets me worried. I like to try new things. For me, because they made me drink this first, it's not good on its own. It's quite strong, quite salty. But I went back and had some after I ate, and it is very, very refreshing. Everything on this plate is perfectly cooked to a T.
The cucumber and oyster shot actually, I think, tastes quite nice. Ice cold, cucumber flavour with a hint of the sea. I think it works. Your plate of 4 little goodies there are good. It's all well cooked, it's all well seasoned and well presented.
Lovely scallop and ceviche, giving a little bit of a vinegar flavour as well. I love the softness of the salmon. You've got saltiness from those eggs on top of there as well. Really love the oyster. I find that very light, very refreshing, and beautifully cooked and lovely flavours. You've got a happy customer at the start of his dinner.
Scott's main is roast duck breast on bok choy, duck leg and shiitake mushroom ravioli, a stack of pickled radish, carrot and mooli, with pomana, crispy shallot rings and shredded duck garnish, and a Peking duck consommé.
Look at the shine. It's lovely.
Beautiful crystal clear consommé. I like what I'm seeing.
The flavour of the consommé is fantastic. It is duck, and it has got sweet bits, and it has got little spicy notes to it as well. The duck breast itself is cooked really, really well. I very much enjoyed the ravioli. Very good.
The consommé for me is the star of this dish. I would want just a big bowl of it. It's absolutely delicious. It's got such an intense duck flavour without being too rich or overpowering. It's got sweet notes, it's got slightly sour notes, it's got floral notes from spicing. It really is an achievement.
I don't think it's necessary to have the pomana on this dish, but it's a damn good pomana though. Everything on this plate has been done really well, Scott. That consommé, for me, is what holds this whole dish together.
For his dessert, Scott has made a coconut mousse topped with pistachio praline, on slices of poached pineapple and chili, with roasted pineapple, cardamom biscuits, and marshmallow cubes.
I really like this, Scott. I really, really like it. For me, coconut and pineapple is a marriage made in heaven. And you have managed to make a coconut mousse which is as light as a feather. It's airy, yet it still has that wonderful creaminess and flavour of coconut. Those little marshmallows as well are bouncy but melt in the mouth. It's a lovely dessert.
That's great. That's a solid pina colada. It's coconut and it's booze, and those little chunks of pineapple you've got, they taste like they've been steeped in rum. And then you get that pineapple juice. Mate, I was excited about it when you told me about it. I'm excited about it when I eat it, because that's an indulgence. The flavours and the textures are built for stuffing yourself with.
I'm annoyed that you've made a dessert that I have to share with Greg. He's eaten most of the pineapple, and I didn't get any of the roasted ones, which looked really good when he was chewing on it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I just saw it sitting there, and I thought, it looks like it needs a home.
The biscuit is very well made, it's crunchy, it's got hints of cardamom through it. You've got it right on the head there with the flavours and the taste that you wanted to achieve on this dessert.
There's one thing that I love more than anything out of my job, and it's to see chefs evolve. Brilliant, absolutely stunning. Really.
Scott, thank you so much.
Pretty surreal that was the last challenge. You know, what I did there, I think, you know, all worked really well. Yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Stephen, your turn.
For his starter, Stephen has made pigeon breast with roasted baby beetroot, caramelized feta dice, apple compote, watercress, and a beetroot vinaigrette.
That is exquisite. I love the deep colours, I love the sheen on it. I think that's beautiful.
It's precision, it's delicate. It shows your journey throughout the competition.
For me, Stephen, it is the ideal starter. It is light, it is refreshing, yet it has a depth of flavour that excites the palate. The pigeon's cooked perfectly. I would never have thought that feta cheese would work with pigeon. You've managed to make it work because you've judged it perfectly.
Too much feta and you get just feta. Just the right amount on your fork and it's a stunning combination. Tangy, salty, then gamey, then earthy, beetroot and sweet apple. Very, very nice indeed.
Stephen, the beetroot is just right amount of crunchiness. The apple that brings a sharpness to it. Be proud of what you've done here today. I'm really happy with what you've done. It's a great plate, Stephen.
Stephen's main course is pan-fried stone bass on a bed of crab, tomato and parmesan orzo with pureed, poached and blackened kohlrabi and a lime foam.
Look at that. That is exquisitely crafted.
Precision. That's what we've seen with you in the past and you've delivered it again.
For me, I love the way that you've used the trimming, the cutout, to actually serve on a plate, and you've blackened it to add a different taste. It's been dressed with care.
The flavours on your fish are superb. The fish is cooked to perfection, lovely crispy skin, well seasoned. The kohlrabi, I think, is a revelation. Beautifully cooked. Different tastes, different textures of kohlrabi. Superb, really superb.
Everything comes together really well here. Your orzo is very intense in flavour from the sauce that you've made with the langoustines, and it's binding everything together. It's great and flavoursome. It's a wonderful dish.
I'll tell you, mate, that is really, really good. I mean, top-end restaurant, gone out for lunch, I've had a fantastic starter, I've now had a memorable main. Oh. Feeling good?
2 down, 1 to go.
For his dessert, Stephen has made a honey cake, topped with honeycomb, with poached peaches, peach compote, roast peach puree, yogurt espuma, a pistachio crumb, and thyme syrup.
I think your cake is wonderful. It's very moist, and the honeycomb that you've got on top finishes your cake. Your garnish that goes with it, the peaches are very refreshing. I like that you've roasted the peaches off, plus the actual poached peach in there. I find it all very sweet, but luckily the bit of yogurt that you have on there does help to offset the sweetness.
Really good cake. Light, moist, get that lovely honey flavour without being over sweet or sticky. Pistachios and peaches, also a very good marriage. So great flavour combinations.
Oh, those peaches are as soft as you like. I love the pistachio flavour on there as well. And that little bit of thyme you've put in really highlights the senses. It really makes you come alive and take notice. That's an absolute triumph.
Stephen, as a menu, I think this is very well balanced, full of flavour, brilliant. I can see a true chef here, absolutely. And it's you shining through on every dish. Well done.
Thank you all.
Cheers, chef. Thank you.
It's so nerve-wracking sitting at the table with the 3 judges. The cooking part was the easy bit. I'm pleased with what I've done, and I couldn't have done any more.
Adam, your turn, please.
Adam's starter is a terrine of pressed pork made with ham hock and pork cheek and topped with chopped herbs. served with pickled micro carrots, radishes and shallots, and brioche toast.
Very clever, very modern. I love it.
It's a stunning way to present food. So precise, it's so meticulously placed. It's a beautiful plate. The terrine is very well made. I was worried in case you didn't get the hock cooked in time, because then it can be quite tough and chewy. It has cooked enough. It's well seasoned, and I do like the freshness that the herbs bring to the top. It is wonderful.
It's a nice, soft terrine with the sweet, sharp vegetables. It really comes alive. I mean, it's a beautiful flavour. Salty, moist, and then sharp and sweetness. But for me, I would like some more of those little darling pickled vegetables.
You've taken a ham hock terrine, which is a very rustic dish, and elevated it. Made it into something which is quite sophisticated that you could serve in a fine dining establishment. But for me, it's a bit dry. It's lacking moisture, it's lacking its cooking liquid, the jelly, the natural jelly that has all that wonderful flavour.
Adam's main course is sous vide lobster tails with a pressed chicken thigh terrine and served with confit carrots, crispy chicken skin, sliced truffle and a chicken sauce.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. That's wow. If a waiter brings this to my table, I'm just grinning. And I'll say it out loud. Wow.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Classic match of lobster and chicken works very well. I love how you've stuck the two lobsters together to form a cylinder shape of it. And I love the crispiness of the skin you have here.
That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look, that sweet lobster with that sauce that's almost bitter, and then really soft chicken and truffle. Mate, that is a very grown-up, sophisticated, yet hugely enjoyable taste sensation.
The terrine that you've made out of the chicken thighs, a lot of technique, a lot of skills. Pan frying it, again, to caramelise and add more flavour. It's very clever cooking. The lobster, cooked to perfection, absolutely bang on. A little bit too garlicky for me, it's quite strong. The sauce, for me, is not reduced enough and very bitter.
The bitterness that my friend Michelle picks up on, and the garlickiness, is what I love.
Adam's dessert is toffee apple, a toffee pudding cake, cider poached apples, a muscovado sugar tuile, and toffee sauce, garnished with salted walnuts and apple blossoms.
I love how you've been brave enough to do themes on beige. Somebody else with less confidence would have been squirting a fruit coulis all over that.
It is, as Greg says, shades of beige, but you highlighted it with small pink apple blossoms, and that's all it needs.
I love the tuile. It's beautiful, it's shiny, and it's got that snap and the taste of muscovado sugar. And that is heavenly. Really, really, very, very good. I like the apples, little balls of apple cooked in cider, but I'm not keen on the cake. I find it heavy. I was expecting something really, really very light, especially that you've made some extremely light cakes in the past. I was expecting something as light as a feather, and it's not.
Your take on apple toffee is here. You have the muscovado for the caramel and the apples as if you were biting into it. Your cake, for me, it works quite well.
Everything is moist and yummy, and there's variations on toffee. It's not too sweet at all. I like the little bit of saltiness and a bit of sharpness I get from the walnuts. Nothing wrong with what you've done, and I'd happily eat it all. I'd like something else on that plate as well, and that something else would be some sharp apple. Thank you very much indeed.
I'm the kind of person, I focus more on the negative, so I feel so disappointed, mostly in myself. You know, this is the final round. Monica was nice, Greg was good, but I let Michelle down. Obviously, chefs look up to him, so his opinion matters. Even if it is full of negativity, his opinion still matters.
Off you go.
I'll tell you, I'm really happy. From my perspective, one of a customer, I think these three are super, super talented. I mean, really impressed. Really, really impressed.
I'd happily work with these chefs starting tomorrow.
For me, the overriding feeling of today is actually of disappointment, because I was expecting so much from one chef and he didn't quite achieve what I was hoping. I genuinely feel frustrated with Adam and the way he's cooked today, because coming into this final, I had him as the favourite. For sure. With all that know-how, that passion that he's always delivered on the plate. In his over-eagerness to impress, I don't think he's reached the mark.
You've been really impressed with Adam and expecting more from him today. I think he hasn't reached your expectations.
The one thing I know about Michel, if he sees a lot of possibility in a young chef, it's the one he's going to be the hardest on.
Probably got that because my father was extremely hard on me. Possibly I was a bit over-harsh because I want him to do well.
The thought process was different. I was always massive on flavour. This one, I wanted to do total refinement. Backfired.
I really like Scott's ideas. If I'd have walked into the restaurant today and looked at the menu, I would have ordered starter main pudding off of Scott. I would have done. You know, that sings to me. That's the sort of food I would have ordered.
Scott is the one that we've been calling our solid chef because he has been throughout. He's always delivered great food. The difference is there's more love coming through in Scott's food. The consommé, for example, you can see the great chef in him.
I can, actually. I really can. That consommé was superb.
It was splendid. You know, and there's an art and a skill to make a consommé that good.
I really enjoyed the starter with a different fish. Even the bowl of green liquid that ended up being cucumber and oyster was really refreshing. Scott had a great dessert. The coconut and pineapple, I mean, that was such a crowd pleaser. I'm finding it hard to ignore Scott's value at the moment.
You come this far, it's been a really hard journey to get there. It's going to be disappointing if I don't win. But so do the two other chefs, so we'll just have to wait and see.
I thought Stephen's food was lovely. I mean, seriously, when it comes to eating the food that was dished up today, we can't look much further than Stephen's main course.
That stone bass from Stephen was absolutely delicious. And so was Stephen's starter.
It was simplicity done to perfection with a little twist with the feta. That, for me, was a stunning dish here today.
Visually, it was outstanding. That was good. He makes food that is great to eat. It's expertly cooked. It is presented with a certain elegance, clean lines, and it works.
He's shown that he's deserved to be here. He's cooked faultlessly. It was simplicity done to perfection.
Fault-free.
My style is using ingredients that are not flamboyant. I believe it is quite a risk to use humble ingredients for the final, but this is me on a plate, and I'm not going to try and be someone that I'm not.
I never thought that coming into a final was this hard. They are amazing, amazing chefs. They would be a treasure to have in any kitchen.
Stephen has done incredibly well throughout this competition. He's expressing himself to the full.
I do want to win this competition, but, you know, there's so much going around in my head, you know, have I done enough?
Scott, he's the kind of chef that you and I would want next to us on a busy Saturday night. He delivers the goods at an unbelievable standard.
It's always going to be disappointing if I don't win, you know, so they're absolutely, you know, be absolutely delighted.
Adam has this drive to better what he's achieved already. He has like a deep thirst to just keep pushing. He is going to achieve great things in the future.
For me, it's easy. Best dishes on the day. Have you got a favourite chef here today? Have you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really see any point in going round and round. It has been an incredible competition.
I couldn't have wished for a better group of chefs to be here with today.
We have made a decision. Our MasterChef champion is Stephen.
Well done.
Champion. I'm sorry about my hand. Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Hey, I get a kiss?
Yeah.
Ah, well done.
Fantastic. I wasn't expecting that.
What an achievement. What an achievement.
It feels so surreal. I don't know what to say.
Wow.
Apart from thank you.
It's sad, but delighted for Stephen. Definitely, the best chef on today. And really happy for him.
I'm very happy for Steve. It's always been me and him very close, and today I